Welcome to the Sci-Fi. I'm GUMP, your narrator. Make sure you subscribe to our channel for more stories. The sun hovered high over the futuristic skyline of New Neo-Tokyo, its gleaming spires reflecting a bright, almost surreal light. The city buzzed with life, but the sounds of the bustling metropolis were muted here, near the serene aqua-blue pool that sprawled across the rooftop of Jackson's luxurious penthouse. The sleek white architecture around them glimmered in the sunlight, reminiscent of minimalist domes and elegant towers. Jackson stood by the edge of the pool, impeccably dressed in a tailored navy blue suit that accentuated his confident posture. His sandy blonde hair was styled to perfection, and a faint smirk tugged at the corner of his lips. He was a man accustomed to control, whether in business or in his personal life, and his eyes gleamed with intrigue as they fixed on the woman before him. China, the newest visitor from the distant planet Venus, was unlike anything Jackson had ever seen. Her skin shimmered with a soft purple hue, catching the light in a way that seemed almost ethereal. Her long, flowing blue hair cascaded down her back, contrasting beautifully with her skin. She stood by the pool, clad in a vibrant futuristic swimsuit that hugged her curves in all the right places, her confidence as palpable as the sunlight warming the air. "Is this an appropriate Earth outfit?" China asked, her voice lilting with curiosity, her golden eyes locking onto Jackson's. There was a playful hint in her tone, though Jackson suspected she already knew the answer. The swimwear she'd chosen was both daring and stunning, a perfect fit for her bold personality. Jackson chuckled, adjusting the cufflinks on his sleeve as he replied, "I'd say you've adjusted to Earth fashion quite well. You're certainly turning heads." China tilted her head slightly, a smile teasing her lips. "Adjusting is fascinating, but I still have much to learn." Her gaze held his, a challenge sparkling within. Jackson took a deep breath, trying to maintain his composure. China's presence was magnetic, and her interpretation of adjusting was proving to be more captivating than he had anticipated. He had been tasked with helping her understand Earth's customs, but it seemed she had her own interpretation of the assignment, one that was becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. "Why don't we start with a tour?" Jackson offered, gesturing toward the edge of the rooftop. The view was breathtaking, the city's futuristic architecture stretching out to the horizon. "I'll show you more of what Earth has to offer." China stepped closer, her bare feet making no sound on the smooth surface. She moved with a grace that was both elegant and enticing. "A tour sounds delightful," she purred, her eyes never leaving his. "Lead the way, Jackson." They walked along the edge of the rooftop, the breeze playing with China's hair as they gazed out over the city. Jackson pointed out the various landmarks, his voice steady even as his thoughts wandered. He couldn't help but steal glances at her, noting the way her swimsuit accentuated her figure, the shimmer of her purple skin under the sun. "This city is different," China mused, her gaze scanning the skyline. "On Venus, our cities are more organic, grown from the land, not built." Jackson nodded, intrigued. "Sounds beautiful. I'd love to see it someday." China's smile widened. "Perhaps I'll take you there after you've helped me adjust." There it was again, that word. Adjust. Jackson couldn't shake the feeling that China was playing a game, one he was all too willing to join. But for now, he needed to focus, to keep things professional, or at least try. As they continued the tour, China's curiosity led them to his state-of-the-art living quarters. The penthouse was a masterpiece of modern design, with sleek surfaces, automated systems, and expansive windows offering panoramic views of the city. The central AI greeted them as they entered, adjusting the lighting to a soft, warm glow. "This is where you live?" China asked, her fingers lightly trailing along the edge of a holographic display. Jackson nodded, watching her with a mix of admiration and amusement. "Home sweet home." China turned to face him, her expression thoughtful. "It's different from what I expected. So many gadgets, so much convenience." Jackson chuckled. "Welcome to Earth. We like our technology." She stepped closer, her eyes searching his. "And what of Earth's customs, Jackson? You've shown me the city, your home. But what about the people, the way they connect?" The air between them grew charged, the playful tone in her voice giving way to something deeper. Jackson felt his pulse quicken, the boundaries of their interaction blurring. "Well," he began, his voice low, "human connection is complex, but I think you're already getting the hang of it." China's lips curled into a knowing smile. "Perhaps I am, but there's still so much to explore." Their gazes locked, the unspoken tension hanging in the air like a palpable force. Jackson knew he was treading on dangerous ground, but the allure of China's charm was impossible to resist. "Then let's explore," he said softly, his voice barely above a whisper. China stepped even closer, her fingers brushing against his arm. "I thought you'd never ask." The air between them was thick with anticipation as China's delicate touch lingered on Jackson's arm. Her golden eyes seemed to shimmer even brighter in the dim light of the penthouse, reflecting a mixture of curiosity and desire. Jackson, typically so confident and in control, found himself momentarily at a loss for words. There was something about China, her otherworldly presence, her fearless gaze, that unsettled him in the most enticing way. "Exploring human connection," China murmured, her voice soft yet commanding, "isn't just about observing, is it?" Jackson swallowed, a grin forming on his lips as he leaned in slightly. "No, it's about experience, feeling." China's fingers slid down his arm, her touch sending a ripple of warmth through him. "Show me, Jackson. Teach me what Earth has to offer." Jackson's breath caught, the weight of her request sinking in. This wasn't just a casual flirtation. She was serious about adjusting in her own unique way. He knew he could either step back and keep things strictly professional, or dive into this moment with her, embracing whatever came next. With a subtle nod, he made his decision. "All right," he said, his voice steady, "but it's important to understand that human connection is about trust and intimacy." China tilted her head, her expression softening. "Trust. I trust you, Jackson. You've been kind, patient. Now I want to see the other side of Earth's customs." Jackson couldn't deny the pull between them any longer. He reached out, his fingers brushing against her cheek, the softness of her skin like silk beneath his touch. China closed her eyes, leaning into his hand, her breathing shallow and expectant. Slowly he leaned in, their lips meeting in a tender, exploratory kiss. China responded immediately, her hand sliding up to rest on his chest, pulling him closer. The kiss deepened, a spark igniting between them as the tension of the past few days melted away in a wave of passion. Jackson guided her gently toward the plush sofa in the center of the room, their lips never parting. China's hands roamed his back, her touch both eager and delicate, as if she were discovering new territory with every movement. Jackson responded in kind, his hands tracing the curves of her body, marveling at the way her purple skin seemed to glow in the dim light. As they settled onto the sofa, Jackson's mind raced. He had been with many women before, but none like China. Her alien nature added an element of mystery and excitement, making every moment feel new and exhilarating. She was learning Earth's ways, but there was something innate, something primal about her that needed no explanation. China pulled back slightly, her golden eyes searching his. This is what Earth calls intimacy." Jackson nodded, his fingers brushing a strand of blue hair from her face. "It's part of it. There's more to intimacy than just physical connection. It's about trust, vulnerability, and mutual respect." China's gaze softened, a tender smile gracing her lips. "I think I understand, but I still have much to learn." Jackson chuckled, his hand resting on her cheek. "We've got time. No rush." China leaned in again, her lips capturing his in a kiss that was both gentle and demanding. Her hands roamed his body with a newfound confidence, exploring every inch of him with eager curiosity. Jackson responded in kind, his own hands mapping the contours of her form, marveling at the way her body responded to his touch. The world outside faded away as they lost themselves in each other, their connection deepening with every passing moment. The futuristic penthouse, with its high-tech gadgets and panoramic views, became a sanctuary for their shared exploration. They were two beings from different worlds, brought together by fate and curiosity, learning from each other in ways neither had anticipated. As their passion reached its peak, China's hands tangled in Jackson's hair, pulling him closer as she whispered his name, her voice a mixture of wonder and desire. Jackson held her tightly, their bodies moving in perfect harmony, the boundaries between human and alien dissolving in the heat of their embrace. Finally, they collapsed onto the sofa, their breathing heavy and their bodies entwined. Jackson's fingers traced lazy patterns on China's skin, the warmth of their shared experience lingering in the air. China sighed contentedly, her head resting on Jackson's chest. "Thank you, Jackson, for showing me, for teaching me." Jackson smiled, pressing a kiss to her forehead. "The pleasure was all mine, China, but I think you taught me just as much." China's eyes sparkled with amusement as she tilted her head to look at him. "Perhaps, but I'm not done learning yet." Jackson chuckled, his heart swelling with affection. "Then let's keep exploring together." China's smile widened, and she nestled closer, her eyes drifting shut as they lay in peaceful silence. The journey of adjustment was far from over. But for now, they were content to simply be in each other's arms, savoring the connection they had discovered. The gentle hum of the penthouse's automated systems provided a tranquil backdrop as Jackson and China lay intertwined on the sofa, their shared warmth creating a cocoon of comfort. The city beyond the vast windows stretched out like a futuristic painting. But for now, neither of them paid it any mind. China stirred, her golden eyes slowly opening to meet Jackson's gaze. "Earth's customs, they are more fulfilling than I imagined," she murmured, her voice soft and content. Jackson chuckled, brushing a strand of her blue hair from her face. "I think you've picked them up faster than most." China's lips curved into a mischievous smile. "Perhaps it's because I had a good teacher." Jackson leaned in, pressing a tender kiss to her lips before pulling back, a playful glint in his eyes. "I think you're a natural." They both laughed softly, the sound of their shared joy filling the room. For a moment, everything felt perfect, simple, uncomplicated. But Jackson knew there was still more to discuss, more to learn about each other. "So," he began, his tone gentle, "what happens next for you, China? Are you staying on Earth, or will you return to Venus?" China's expression grew thoughtful, her fingers tracing small circles on his chest. "I'm not sure. Venus is my home, but Earth has shown me something I didn't expect. Connection, emotion, passion." Jackson nodded, understanding the weight of her words. "You're always welcome here. Whether you stay or go, you'll always have a place with me." China's eyes softened, gratitude shining in their golden depths. "Thank you, Jackson. That means more to me than you know." She sat up slowly, stretching gracefully as she gazed out at the sprawling city. The sunlight caught her purple skin, casting a warm glow that made her look almost otherworldly, yet deeply beautiful. "I think I want to stay a while longer," China said, turning back to him. "There's still so much to learn, and I believe Earth has more to offer." Jackson's smile widened, relief washing over him. "I'd like that. There's no rush to make a decision. Take your time." China nodded, a newfound determination in her eyes. "I will. And while I'm here, I want to explore everything. Your customs, your world, and more of this connection we share." Jackson reached out, taking her hand in his. "Then let's make the most of it. We'll explore together." China squeezed his hand, her smile radiant. "Together." The sound of the penthouse's AI chimed softly, signaling a message. Jackson glanced toward the hollow display that hovered nearby, his curiosity piqued. "It's a message from the Earth-Venus Council," he explained, standing to check the display. The hologram flickered to life, revealing a formal notification from the Interplanetary Alliance. China stood beside him, her eyes scanning the message. "They're asking for a report on my adjustment to Earth," she said with a hint of amusement. "I think they'll be surprised by my progress." Jackson smirked, his arms slipping around her waist. Surprise might be an understatement. China's laughter was soft, musical, as she leaned into him. "Shall we tell them everything, or keep some details private?" Jackson's grin widened. "Some things are better left between us." They shared a knowing look, the unspoken understanding deepening their bond. The message could wait for now. They had each other and the promise of more shared moments to come. China turned back to the panoramic view of the city, her gaze distant but thoughtful. "It's strange," she began softly. "On Venus, we are taught that humans are complex, sometimes difficult to understand. But you've made it so simple." Jackson arched an eyebrow, his hand resting on her shoulder. "Simple, huh? What makes you say that?" She turned to face him, her expression serious but warm. "Because you embrace emotion fully. You live in the moment, unafraid of connection. On Venus, we analyze, calculate, but here, it's about feeling." Jackson chuckled, pulling her closer. "Well, we do have our moments of overthinking too, but when it comes to connections like this, sometimes you just have to go with your gut." China smiled, a twinkle in her eye. "I like that. Trusting instinct. It feels liberating." They stood there for a while, the silence between them comfortable, filled with unspoken promises. The sun began to dip below the horizon, casting long shadows across the cityscape. The soft glow of the penthouse's lights illuminated their faces, casting them in a warm, intimate light. Jackson broke the silence, his voice low and thoughtful. "There's something special about you, China. It's more than just the fact that you're from another world. You see things differently, and that makes everything feel new." China's eyes glistened with emotion. "You make me feel new, Jackson, like I'm discovering a part of myself I didn't know existed." He pressed a kiss to her forehead, holding her close. "Then let's keep discovering together." As the night enveloped the city, Jackson and China remained in their embrace, two souls from different worlds united by a shared desire to explore, to connect, and to understand one another. Their journey had only just begun, and they both knew that the best was yet to come.